Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today this is SEAMRITE by P. Today we are going to draft an off-shoulder corset with strap. You know, off-shoulder corsets with strap are also trending these days, and I know you will want to know how this is drafted. So to begin this tutorial, I'm going to make my border lines and draw my vertical lines. Of course, you know how to do that. I'll be dropping on the link, on the description, the link to the last corset we made on yoke. Okay, how to draft a corset with yoke. I'll be dropping the link on the description box below. Please try and visit it. So now we are going to jump into this tutorial right away so that you see how you can vary your corsets, off shoulder with straps, we've done with yoke and all that. So for those who are new to this channel, welcome to this channel. This is SEAMRITE Fashion Academy channel. Please kindly subscribe, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this each week. Like this video, share to family and friends, drop your comments on the comment section and suggestions as well. And I want to use this opportunity to thank all of you who are stopping by on this channel, SEAMRITE, and for your subscriptions as well. So to begin this video right away, I'm going to make my border lines and my vertical lines for you. Yeah, so we are making an off shoulder. Okay, so I have everything from shoulder to the front line because we are going to attach our skirt on this part of it because it's going to be a gown that is an off shoulder gown, off shoulder corset with strap. Then we are going to attach a skirt to it. I believe you understand what I mean. So now you can see this is my bust point, and my bust radius is taken from my bust point to my underbust. That is the difference. I have 10 inches and I have 13. 13 take away 10, I have 3. So I rotated these 3 inches all around. Okay, this bust radius will guide me to how exposed I want my cleavage to be. Okay, so now we are going to impute on the bust point. Usually I've explained this before. I'm taking 2 inches by the right and by the left. Okay, I'll be dropping the link of my video on corset with yoke on the description box below. So now that you see that I've made my 1 inch 1 inch, I'll also come down here. I'll be taking the measurement of 1 inch 1 inch. Okay, I'm just repeating this. You can visit my video on yoke to understand better. It's well explained here. Okay, so this is 1 inch, this is 1 inch. I'm trying to confirm that is correct. Okay, so this is 1 inch. So I'm trying to draw my dart leg. That is what you see me doing here. Okay, that's my dart leg. You can see it now. So now I'm going to take the measurement of 0.5. But before I do that, this is my bust point line and this is my center front. So I'm going to come up by 2 inches. From my center front, I'll come up by 2 inches. Okay, so from these 2 inches I came up, I'll come in by 0.5. So at that point, I'm going to draw a horizontal line, and I'm going to take this 0.5. I'll take it all down to this point. So I'm going to link it to the front length. My 0.5 will run, okay, to the front length. So now it's time for us to connect from the underbust to this point of 0.5. We are trying to make our cup, our corset cup. Okay, you can see I have it exactly on my bust radius. Then coming over to this other side, you see this is my 3 inches bust radius. So because the bust is fuller on this side, I'll be adding from this point, I'll be adding 0.5. So my connection will be for my bust cup is going to be from that 0.5 to the underbust dart. So you can see that. All right, so now before we go over to the off shoulder, right now I'm going to determine how off my shoulder will be. Like, this depends on you, is your choice. From the shoulder, this is my shoulder line. So from this shoulder line, no matter how off you want it, some people can make their off shoulder 3 inches, some can make it 4, it can be 5, it can be 6, it can be 7, depending on how off. Okay, there are some crazy off shoulders that can be taken to 8 inches and the cleavage will show. You see, at this point now I have 8 inches. You can see my bust ready, meaning that my breast is going to show. You can see my bust is going to show at this point. So now that is why I have this mark. This 3 inches mark is going to really serve as a guide for me. So now at this, from the shoulder right now, you can see I have 7 inches to where my bust radius point, this point is, okay, from the shoulder. So now I don't want to expose much, so I'm taking 5.5 for my off shoulder. That is 5.5. So at this point of 5.5, that is where I want my off shoulder to be. So now I'm going to divide, I'm going to extend this line. But before I extend it, let me take 1 inch. You know the explanation of how we have 1 inch. I'm taking 1 inch up and 1 inch down. Okay, let's go back to the video of corset with yoke to understand this explanation very properly. Now I'm going to divide my shoulder into 2. I divided it into 2. So that division, I'm going to connect it right away. Remember, I came up by 1 inch here, so you are going to connect it here. Okay, so now how off I want my shoulder to be from my shoulder line. I want it to be off by 5.5 because I don't want to reveal too much. So now I'm going to place my curve ruler. I'm placing it on this point and I'm going to touch how off I want it to be. But then there's something I just observed. If you look at here from my armhole, you can see this is the midpoint of my armhole. At this midpoint of my armhole, I came in by 3/4 or 0.75. So I just want my shoulder, I just want this off shoulder neckline to run from this point to this point. That's another thing I observed. Okay, so it depends on what you want anyway. So I'm not making use of this straight line. I'm coming from my armhole. Okay, so I'm going to connect it directly to the midpoint with a curl. All right, so that's how I want my off shoulder to be, but you can make whatever thing you want anyway. So if you look at where it is now, you can see it's off by 5.75. Just I added the 1/4 to it. That's all. So that's another way you can do it as well. So now it's time to start tightening my bust. Okay, so now I'm going to place, first of all I'm going to work on this part. I'm going to take 0 points from this point where this line on the shoulder touch this towards my bust point. I'm going to I'm coming this way by 0.75. This is my 3/4 and I'm taking 3/4 as well. So I'm going to connect with my curve ruler right now. I'm going to connect this 3/4. So to know how this 3/4, how we got this 3/4, please go back to my video. I've already made a video on how to, on a corset and a yoke, so it's well explained here and that will help you more. So now you can see I've tightened my bust. Okay, so I took 0.75, 0.75, everything is 1.5. all right, so there's no much explanation to this because I have this video already made. Okay, I'll be dropping the link on the description. So what I just did is I shaded the points we are going to cut off. Okay, this is 1.5 for my bust tightening. Okay, so I took 0.75, 0.75, and I came over here. This is my, if you take the measurement of my bust circumference divided by 5, I have 9 inches. This is the point of my 9 inches. So at this 9 inches, I quickly added this 1.5 I lost. Can you see? Because it will be shortening by the time we close here. So I have 1.5 here. That is exactly what I did here. Okay, then coming over to the underbust, I have an underbust measurement of 32 inches divided by 4, which is 8. Look at my 8 here. But because I'm losing 2 inches, I added it up here. You can see that's what I have here. The same thing on the waistline. I have 8 inches. I added 2 inches. I connected this line. Okay, I used my body form ruler to connect it. You can see I connected from the point I added 1.5 to my front length. That is this line you are seeing here. There's no too much explanation. I've already treated this topic before severally. All right, so now I have to place to contour my bust line. You can see I came down from the bust line by 1 inch. All I did was just to place my ruler. You can see how I placed it. Okay, and I connected. I flipped it this way. I did the same thing and connected. Okay, so this one already I also connected, you know, using the straight part of my ruler, not the curvy part. Please take note. To the 1.1 inch to the 0.5, I flipped to the 1 inch to the 0.5. That's exactly how I got this cup you are seeing here. Then I extended this line. So that is it. Now you can see this is how off is going to be. I chose to use my half armhole, the midpoint of my armhole. That is what I chose, and I connected it all the way to the armhole. This is my armhole line. Okay, so I connected it all the way to the midpoint. As you can see, I placed my curve ruler to touch this point and touch. That is how I want my neckline for the off shoulder to be. Okay, so now remember when we, okay, before I go into that, our bust dart, very important. So for the bust dart, I have a front length of 16 and I have back length of 14. 16 take away 14, I have 2. Directly on my bust point, I'm going to take 2 inches down. This is my 2 inches. I'll share the 2 inches, I have 1 inch. So I'm going to connect with my ruler all these 2 inches. I'm connecting it straight to my bust point, as you can see, and I'm going to share. So why am I sharing? Just because I want to close up my dart. Okay, so I'll also come out by 3/4. I'll come out by 3/4. So you know this already. Okay, I've been doing this so many times in my videos. So if you have been following my videos, you will see that's how I usually close up my bust dart. So this is what I'm going to close up. This shaded part is not part of this drafting, so it's going to close up. All right, so for the front bodies right now, I think we are through with our off shoulder. You can see it's very simple. All we need to do is to close our bust dart, cut off, separate our pieces, then create our boning lines. That remember, there's no seam allowance added to this. Okay, so I'm cutting off to close up my bust dart. But before I do that, okay, I need to cut off to enable. I'm cutting off this part to the 1 inch. Then I'll cut off to the 1 inch. So you can see I'm not using this. I'll discard it. Then I'll quickly open up so I can close up my bust dart. Okay, so I'll quickly okay, so you bring it a little, just a little. Wow, so you can see you don't need to allow it fall off anyway. but it's okay. So our bust dart is closed. All right, so there's something I want to show you now. Coming over to this particular dart, you know this dart is usually shorter. The one on the center front is usually shorter than the one on the side front. Okay, so we need to match it up just as we did last time. Or if you cannot match it up, maybe you find it difficult to match up, all you need to do is to come up a little. Okay, you can come up a little bit on that point. Just come up by 0.25. You understand? Then when you do that, you come up by 0.25. You quickly reblend. Okay, if you cannot start closing all of those things. All right, so now I've done that. Yes, you see we have to reconnect. You see, if we close up our bust dart and it's shifted by 1/4 of an inch, so I'm going to place and reblend. Please don't forget, we are going to place our ruler, reblend it to have our new cup. All right, so now I'm going to cut off our cup and separate our bodies. All right, so having I've separated my cups from my bodies. This is my bodies right now. Okay, I've not cut off here. Okay, so this part is, we are not using it. Assuming we are making use of yoke, we could have, you know, kept this part, but now we are making an off shoulder. So what I need to do right now, but before I separate, I just want to show you something that might confuse you. Very important. Make sure you make your strokes 2 strokes down, or whatever thing you know that you use to recognize the up and down. Okay, I usually like using 1 stroke, 2 strokes. So when I separate the cups, like I separated this cup now, I will know I'll be keeping it this way instead of this way. You understand? So I will know, this 2 is down. So I'm going to cut off, separate this cup right now. All right, done. So you can see what I have now. So now I'm going to merge, like we did in the last tutorial. I'm going to merge this, okay, then construct my boning lines and separate it, and that will serve as the front bodies of my off shoulder corsets. You can see I have my F3, F2, F1. After I joined it together, I now marked out my boning lines and I separated them like we did in the last tutorial, which I'll drop the link on the description for you to check out, maybe if you have forgotten. So now my cups, I have cup 1, cup 2. There are so many different cup styles. Okay, I have a video on how I made a corset, a strapless corset. You will see the kind of cup I used. Okay, some cups can come in 2, some you can see they will take down and cut, reshape it. You have 3 of it, that's 1, 2, 3. It depends on whatever. Some can even be 2, as in you cut through this way, you have 1 this side joined together and this. But for this tutorial, I'm making use of this for it. All right, so now the next thing we are going to do, we want to talk about the strap off shoulder. This is exactly the off shoulder. Okay, by the time we fix our cup, this is what we are going to have. Okay, this is the armhole. Now we need to attach our off shoulder. Now for the attachment of the off shoulder with strap, this is what I mean, off shoulder with strap. This is the strap attached to our off shoulder. You can see that. Okay, so for this strap can serve as a basis for so many things. If you have your strap, you can attach your puff sleeve. Okay, you can see what I have now. I have my 2 puff sleeves. So first of all, in this tutorial, I'm going to make the strap. Then after making this strap, if whatever thing you want to attach, you can just cut off your strap and attach it. Okay, it's as simple as that. So the back off shoulder, we are still going to follow the same process, like how off I want my shoulder to be. Remember, we are guided by this. Okay, for the front, I took the front, the mid armhole for the front. Remember, we connected it to this point. So for now, I want my neckline for the back. I don't want to show too much of my back, so I'll be having my connection right here at 7 inches or 7.5. Let me do it at 7.5. So like I told you, when connecting, you have so many styles you want to connect. So for this off shoulder, I'll be connecting this way. You can see how I connected up to that point. So now this is very simple anyway. If you look at it, all right, so let me go over it again. This is my basic bodies, and you can see how I got all of these measurements, my round, the circumference for the bust and the waist. Okay, so I have my basic bodies here. So now we are talking about making the, you can see the dart here. Okay, so now this is how I want my off shoulder neckline to be at the back. You can see how the neckline is at the back. All right, so now I'm going to extend my darts from the dart leg. I'm going to keep my ruler straight. Okay, that's how I want my back to be. I'm taking off these darts. Okay, so taking off all of this for the back. All right, so remember that the back that is 1 inch. Okay, 1 inch. So taking it straight, meaning I took off 1 inch from this. All right, so now I need to take the measurement of this my neckline to see what I have remaining. 3.5. I push it over. I have 6.5. all right, so before everything was 7.5, take away 1, I have 6.5. all right, so that is what I have right here. 7.5, 6.5, sorry, taking away 1. Now I have to come back to show you something. Looking at this is my front. I want to arrange this front again. Okay, this is supposed to be here, this is supposed to be here, and this here. But now we are not talking about this one. Now we are talking about the neckline, because we want to construct our strap. Remember, this tutorial is an off-shoulder corset with strap. We have our corset, we have our off-shoulder, is remaining the strap. So now, what am I going to do to get my strap? First of all, I'm measuring my neckline. Let me keep it this way. My neckline. So this is what the neckline is going to look like for the off-shoulder, for the front. So I will simply take my measurement from the center. Okay, including F1. Remember, we have F1. Please don't be confused here. Including our F1. So this measurement is going to run right from the center front. This is the center front. Okay, is running. Remember, I'm taking the measurement of my neckline. What do I have here? Okay, 4 1/4. Okay, or before a quarter. Okay, I have 6 1/4 or 6.25. So my neckline for the front is 6.25. all right, so I'll make sure that my front neckline of 6.25 is what I have here. So my neckline here, I'm going to take the measurements. Okay, this is 3.5. I'll skip it. to 6.25. You can see where my 6.25 is. All right, okay. So in other words, you can, okay, or some people will want to come in from this point 0.5 before they connect, reconstruct their back neckline, but I like making my front and my back neckline equal. You can see I have 6.25 as I measured for the front. So simply put your tape, take your measurement at 6.25, then make a mark. This is where I have my mark for 6.25. So I'm going to reconstruct I'm reconstructing my armhole for the back. Okay, so I'll be using dotted line, so I will not confuse you with the other line. So you can see that is my off shoulder armhole line right now. So now we are going to do a little of calculation right now to determine our strap. All right, before we jump into that, let me cut off and secure my back piece. So I'm going to cut off. Remember, there is no seam allowance added to this. But before I cut off, we are having a very big shortage. Remember, I have to take my bust again, okay, because of these darts that we have here. Please, we need to take our measurement again. I have, okay, remember, on this I have a 9 inches as my bust circumference divided by 4. So now I'm going to add one more inch for this dart intake. This dart is 1 inch. Simply I'll come over here and I'll add 1 inch. Okay, already I have 8 inches here, and I've already replaced this one. So all I need to do is to reshape. All right, I'm trying to reshape. I've reshaped it to this point. Okay, so you can see what I have here. But now there's something we want to talk about. This is our zip. Okay, if you are putting a zip for this corset. All right, so at this point that we have our zip, remember we need to contour our back, which we usually do, and I'll be going in from this point. I'm coming from the center back. I'm going to come in by 0.5 like we usually do. Okay, and I'm going to connect this all the way to the chest line. Okay, so that means my measurement has shortened again. Okay, so now I need to take my measurement again. Remember, my waist is 38. So at this point I have 2.5. I will jump, I'll skip it to get my 8 inches. Okay, so you can see, meaning that I'm adding back this 0.5. okay, so I will connect this addition, this contour for the back. I'm adding it back to avoid shortage. So this is what I'll be having at the end of the day. All right, so you can see what I have added to it. So now I'm going to take 1 inch zip allowance, following this shape. 1 inch, 1 inch. This is already 1 inch. So now I'm going to cut off. Let me reconstruct that line. So I'm going to cut off because this is my zipper. Okay, so I'm cutting off from my new line now. This is my replacement of my darts. Okay, so at this point I'm going to keep it straight. Okay, because I'm going to have a zipper there. You see how I kept it straight? Then I'll follow up my neckline. Then I'm cutting through my new armhole, the dotted line. Alright, so this is what I have for the back. Okay, This is back one. Remember, we are making our boning line, so my first boning line will be here for the back. So I'm going to cut off this. I'm cutting this off, so I'm discarding this because I don't need it. Okay, so this is what I have. So now I need to construct my next boning line. Okay, all right, so I will have it at 2.5. then I'll place the way I desire. Like I told you, this is your style, your design, whatever thing you feel like you make here. All right, so this is my back boning line. So on the making of this off shoulder sleeve, although I have a video on how to make an off shoulder with each sleeve, I will be dropping the link on the description box below, but I want to explain it because we need to cut off our strap. So for this measurement, we need our round shoulder measurement. If you look at the screen, you can see how I took my tape all around. Okay, looking at this picture, you can see that picture, the tape went round where you want your off shoulder to be. Okay, it went round. Just take your tape round your shoulder where you want, how off you want your shoulder to be. So for this particular tutorial, I have it at 37 and a half. That is what I'm making use as my round, taking my tape round where this off shoulder is going to be. So that is 37 and a half. But now we need to determine our cap height. This is the cap, the sleeve head. Okay, so to determine the cap height, I'm using my bust. I have bust of 36. I'm going to divide it by 12. I'll add +1. Okay, and that will be equal to 4. This is the measurement parameter. Okay, don't ask how 12 came. It was mathematically derived. All right, so you can see this is 4 inches now. I'm making use of a cap height of 4 inches. So I'll be placing my tape on the sleeve head. I'll make a mark of 4 inches. To get a straight line, I'll also make another mark of 4 inches. So all I need to do is to connect this my 4 inches now. You can see I have my cap, my sleeve cap. This is my cap. Now the next thing we want to determine is our armhole depth. I already have my armhole depth, but for you to get your armhole depth, you also use your bust. 36 divided by 6 this time plus 1.5. And for this I have 7.5 inches. So this 7.5 inches, I'm going to place my tape on the cap head and I'll make a mark of 7.5. This is my 7.5. all right, so now on this sleeve head I need to take my strap. Okay, remember that, like I explained to you, using this illustration here, I took all the way this way. Everything is 37. But now my bodies, remember my body's neckline measurements. My body's neckline measurement for the front. For the front, I have my body's neckline measurement at 6.25. Do you remember when we measured it, we got 6.25. Then at the back, we also got to 6.25. All right, so what I'm trying to explain now is that we are working with 37.5. that is taking your tape round your shoulder where you want your off shoulder, like I illustrated, taking your tape round. Okay, all right, so I have 37.5 inches. But now the neckline for the front, coming to this picture, this what you are seeing, this neckline right now, you can see that is a neckline. Let me take the measurement again, although we've taken it. You see, took the measurement of this is part of the neckline, remember, we took the measurement from here to here and to here, and we got 6.25. This 6.25 is for quarter of these bodies. Front 6.25, this side 6.25. So this 6.25 you are seeing for the front is going to be multiplied by 2, and you have 12.5 inches. So for the front bodies we have 12.5 inches, and for the back bodies, remember we took the measurement to the back, we have another 12.5 inches. So I'm going to add up 12.5 plus 12.5. So here I have 25 inches. So what are we talking about here? We are saying that the bodies is 25, front and back, and the round shoulder is 37.5. So we are going to take away 25 from 37. Okay, so here I have, this is 5, I have 2, I have another 12.5. So this 12.5 now is only going to be, for this strap. The distance from here to here is 12.5 plus the one that went back plus this one and this, everything is 12.5. So I want to divide this 12.5 into 2 for the 2 sleeves. That's one this side, one this side. We are talking about the strap. 12.5 now, we are taking this and this, we are sharing it into 2. So this 12.5 now, I'm going to divide it again by 2. Okay, so here I have 6.25 for each sleeve. So for each sleeve, each part of this sleeve is 6.25. That is, here running to the back is 6.25. Here running to the back is 6.25. So because I'm drafting on one part of my sleeve, one part, this sleeve, is on fold. You can see it's on fold. So one part of it means I'm going to share 6.25 into 2 again. So let me share my 6.25 now. This is my 6.25. I'm going to share. All right, so you can see what I have. I have 3.1. So I will place it on the, I hope you are seeing what I'm doing, on the sleeve head, and I'm going to make a mark of 6.125. Can you see? So this 6.125 now, with my pattern ruler, I'm going to connect it back from that point to my sleeve head. Can you see what I have now? All right. So now, assuming you want to maybe make this sleeve, extend it to your bicep or whatever. My bicep is 7, and I have the circumference of my bicep as 11.275. Sorry. So 11.75, I divide it by 2. This is what I have. So assuming I'm making an ordinary sleeve, a normal sleeve, I'll just connect. Can you see? That is what I will do. So, and if you want a long sleeve, you can also take the measurement of your elbow, the measurement of your wrist, and connect all the way to the biceps down to that point. But for this tutorial today, we are talking about our strap. So this strap, as you can see, I've determined how many that is remaining for me to impute right now, which you can see me, I've imputed it. Okay, so what I have here is one part from this, only this part is what I have here on this point. Okay, so this point right now on the sleeve head that I'm highlighting, that is exactly what you are seeing here. Can you see? This is on fold, and this is also on fold. All right, so I believe you understand what I'm talking about. So now it's time to determine our strap. So this strap, the width of this strap can range from 2 to 3 inches as you desire, but I'm going to use 2.5 inches in this tutorial. So I'll be placing my tape on the sleeve head, and I'll come down by 2.5. So I'm going to rule a line I'm ruling my line. Can you see that? All right, so that is my strap. So this is my strap right now. So what am I going to do? Having determined my strap, I'm going to cut out the length of the width of from the width of the strap. This is my sleeve edge. Can you see? So I have my strap ready. You see how I cut out my strap right from my sleeve block. So you can still keep this side because some people will want to slash and spread here to get more volume to their sleeve to attach to the strap. You understand? You slash and spread to attach to the, maybe you want a puff sleeve, or you can even use it and place on your 180 to get a puff sleeve, but that is not the tutorial for today. So I will still keep this and save it for my puff sleeve if I'm making a puff sleeve attached to my strap. So what are we talking about here? We are done with the strap, with the off shoulder strap right now. Corset with strap. All right, beautiful people, this is what we'll have for our drafting of off shoulder corset with strap. Okay, so you can see the strap there. You can see how you are going to attach it. You prepare your corset like we did in the last tutorial. You just do everything after drafting this. Then all you need to do is to cut out your strap, and when you cut out your strap, remember to add your seam allowances. Here is on fold. Okay, it's on fold. Can you see the fold sign is there? So you have to cut out all, adding your 0.5 seam allowances and 1 inch of your side seam. Remember, we did not add our side seam, so please don't forget your seam allowances. So that is how the front corset with strap is going to look like. Coming to the back, you can see the back. That is how the back is also going to look like. You can see we have the boning lines, okay, with the strap also. This is the strap, okay. So people, this is very easy. You can make it. Just make sure you sew following these instructions. Add your seam allowances, please don't forget. I know you can make it. So this is very easy to make, people. If you are new to this channel, please join SEAMRITE Fashion Academy channel by subscribing to it. Turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this every week. Like, share this video to family and friends to benefit also. Make sure you drop your comments. I'll be happy to see your comments, your suggestions on the comment section below. Okay, so I'm very happy you watched to the end of this video. Okay, thank you very much for this, and see you in my next video. Bye.